We have a lot to talk about in today's MLB recap. A former MVP has officially called it a career. Josh Donaldson, he's saying, see ya, everyone. Now, staying with former MVPs, we have updates on both Ronald Acuña Jr. and Mike Trout. Ronald, he's having some issues with his knee. Please, everyone form a prayer circle around my guy. And from one MVP to another, Mike Trout, he's pretty much said that he's going to be playing angry in 2024. He wants to remind people that he's Mike freaking Trout. Also, we have a terrible health update on Lucas Giolito of the Boston Red Sox. So again, a lot to talk about today. Now, remember everyone, do not forget to use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off when you buy tickets on SeatGeek. And also, baseball is back. MLB Pick'ems are live on Underdog Fantasy. Be sure to use code Fuzzy for a $100 deposit match. So we talked about it in the intro. Josh Donaldson has officially called it a career, and it's probably the right timing considering he was awful in 2023. He had 13 home runs, so the pop is still in his bat, but he hit 152 with a 79 OPS plus. So when you end a season with a 249 on base percentage, yep, it's probably time to hang it up. But at one point, he was one of the best players in Major League Baseball, a 3-time All-Star, one of the more underrated defenders at third base. He had a hell of a career, almost 50 WAR. He's not going to make the Hall of Fame, but again, one of the more talented players we've seen over the last 2 decades. I thought that this Blue Jays team was going to be a super team, and now fast forward to 2024, every single player in this photo is now retired. Zack Wheeler just got a fat bag from the Phillies. He got a $126 million guaranteed contract extension for the next 3 seasons. So it's going to cover 2025 to 2027, and he absolutely deserves it. He was second in Cy Young back in 2021, and last year he won his first Gold Glove, finished 6th in Cy Young, and had one of the best postseasons we've seen in quite some time. Zack Wheeler appeared in 5 games last year in the playoffs. He threw almost 28 innings. He had 35 strikeouts and a 1.95 ERA. He was one of the best pitchers we've seen in quite some time when it mattered the most. So obviously, that's exactly why he's getting rewarded with a contract extension, but now the 2025 free agent market is not as exciting. Now, staying with 2025 free agents and potential contract extensions, Juan Soto is absolutely raking right now in spring, which, take it with a grain of salt, it's spring training, but then again, it's Juan Soto, so him raking actually means something. Do we think that he's going to follow in Zack Wheeler's footsteps and sign a big-time contract extension? I don't think that's going to happen considering the Nationals almost gave him $450 million. He's absolutely going to test free agency. Now, because we just talked about raking in spring and Zack Wheeler, look at Jackson Holliday. He smoked a double against the first guy that we talked about, Zack Wheeler, and then in his very next at-bat, he smoked a triple. I don't know if this kid is going to make the MLB roster for the Orioles. He turned 20 years old a couple weeks or months ago, so the fact that he still has room to grow is scary because he is lighting it up right now. Now, before we talk about the health updates with Ronald Acuña Jr., Lucas Giolito, and even Sonny Gray, he could be missing opening day, let's talk about the fact that the Giants gave Matt Chapman a 3-year, $54 million contract, and honestly, it's not a terrible contract considering he can opt out after every single season. Did Scott Boras overplay his hand? Absolutely. That's why these guys are going for opt-out so they can test free agency in 2025, but the Giants have quietly had a very, very impressive offseason. No, they did not sign Judge or Correa last year or even an Ohtani this year, but this year alone, they've picked up Matt Chapman, Jorge Soler, Jung Ho Lee looks actually pretty good. Now, again, it is spring training, so take it with a grain of salt, but they also have added Robbie Ray and Jordan Hicks. To me, that's a borderline A offseason, probably is an A offseason. So let me know in the comments, what would you grade the 2024 San Francisco Giants offseason? From an A offseason to maybe a D or F offseason, Lucas Giolito was probably the biggest signing for the Red Sox and probably the biggest move aside from trading for Tyler O'Neill, but now they're not going to have Giolito for the entirety of 2024 because unfortunately, he has damage to that right arm. Another pitcher that is probably going to be missing some time in 2024, it's being reported that Sonny Gray is 100% going to miss out on opening day, considering the fact that he has a mild strain in his right hamstring, and hamstrings are nothing to mess around with, so you want to try and get this right, especially after you gave him a ton of money. Sonny Gray, I thought he was going to be the opening day starter, and now the Cardinals' chances of making the playoffs is kind of a dark horse team. It just got even worse. And also, Justin Verlander is reportedly behind in terms of his rehab. His shoulder is still giving him some issues, so just like Sonny Gray, he's probably likely out at least until the 2nd or 3rd week of the season. Now, one more pitcher real quick I do want to talk about before we give a health update on Ronald Acuña Jr. Spencer Strider. If you thought that he was nasty the previous 2 seasons, well, look at him now. He has added an 80-mile-per-hour curveball. Usually he's a fastball slider kind of guy. No, not anymore. He's got a curveball as an out pitch, which is devastating to the rest of baseball. So you have Spencer Strider with a brand new curveball that's disgusting, and Chris Sale is missing bats left and right. Okay, so just a year after Ronald Acuña Jr. suffered a pretty significant knee injury, he won 2023 NL MVP and made history in the process. He became the first player ever to go 40-70. That's 40 plus home runs and 70 plus stolen bases. A brand new club that has never existed and probably might never ever happen again. Now we want to see if he can repeat that in 2024, and there was some speculations that he could be missing some time because there was some concern that he had another structural injury to that same knee that he injured a few years ago, but the reports are that it was precautionary, the reason why they took him out for imaging. He should be okay to play on opening day, and he even had some people come out and say that he's going to be just fine. So again, if you believe in the baseball gods, ask for a prayer circle around Ronald Acuña Jr. because I want to see if he can repeat it. From one MVP to another, Mike Trout is taking receipts, and over the last few weeks, he's come out and said that he thought it was an easy out if he was to request a trade, so he did not want to do that. But because of that, a lot of people have talk smack about Mike Trout, I'm not gonna lie. They say that he's not a top 10 player anymore because he can't stay healthy. He can't lead the Angels to the playoffs. I mean, the facts don't lie. He's been both of those over the last few years, but I still think that he's a top 5 player, regardless of injuries. He's Mike Trout. Mike Trout heard the noise, and this comes from Ken Rosenthal on The Athletic. Mike Trout said, "It fuels me more. The overall satisfaction when we do win here, it will be greater than if I did go somewhere else." So when I hear Trout needs to be traded or he's happy to be there, they can say whatever they want. I've got one thing on my mind, that's trying to win here. The Angels have the pieces to be a good team. They have Patrick Sandoval and Reed Detmers, guys who have high ceilings. Tyler Anderson, he was pretty good, and then he was awful. Joe Adell, he's been decent in spring training. He has a brand new swing path. So if they get all of these different players to contribute, along with maybe a bounce back season from Anthony Rendon or a surprise guy like Miguel Sano who lost 60 pounds, maybe Mike Trout plays 155 games and Tyler Anderson figures out his life again and how to not be a bum. So maybe it can happen. I don't know. Let's talk about a few top prospects who are raking right now in spring. Zach Gelof, he is almost hitting 400 with 5 extra base hits in 7 games. We have Henry Davis, the #1 overall pick in 2021. His swing is looking crispy. He went to Driveline over the offseason. He has 2 home runs while hitting .385. We have Wyatt Langford, who is 100% going to make the opening day roster for the Rangers. He is the 6th overall prospect in baseball. He has 3 home runs while hitting .353. And the last but not least, Colton Cowser. I believe he's in the top 20. Yeah, he's the 19th overall prospect according to MLB.com. Right now, he's hitting .365 with 3 home runs in spring. To end today's recap, we're going to do a quiz. Can you name the MLB pitchers who won 20 games in a season during the 2010s? I feel like we can do this fairly quick, so play quiz. So Astros, 21 wins. It's got to be Verlander, right? Or if it's not Verlander for this one, it's probably the Tigers. Okay, so he won 24 games back in 2000. Wow, okay. 2019, that's got to be Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, okay. 2018 Rays. Wasn't that Charlie Morton? It wasn't Charlie Morton. It wasn't Price. It's not David Price. Okay, David Price was 20 wins for the Rays back in 2012. Why was I thinking David Price was on the Rays in 2018? Was he actually? Who was this? 21 wins back in 2018 for the Rays. Why am I? It's definitely not Glasnow. Who was on the Rays? Was it Archer? Chris Archer? Nope. Okay, I'll have to come back to that one. 20 wins for the Indians back in, was it Kluber? Wasn't it Kluber? Yeah, Corey Kluber. Okay, 22 wins for the 2016 Red Sox. It's got to be Rick Porcello because they only gave it to him because he had a lot of wins, and that's kind of when the shift in Cy Young voting really came about. So 20 wins for the 2016 Blue Jays. Was it 2016 Blue Jays? I'm having a tough time. It wasn't David Price because we've already used them. It's not going to be Gosman, obviously. Okay, let's just go to the 2010s, the early 2010s. So we have Cardinals. I think it was Matt Carpenter. Pretty sure, or not Matt Carpenter. Chris Carpenter, not even Chris Carpenter. Wainwright. Adam Wainwright was the 2014 Cardinals and the 2010 Yankees. I think that was CC Sabathia. Didn't CC Sabathia have 20-something wins, but Felix Hernandez beat him? I think that was the year that Felix won. We have 2010 Cole Ham. I think this is Cole Hamels, right? Cole Hamels? Nope, not Cole Hamels. Was it Cliff Lee? I know Cliff Lee is on this list for sure. What? Cliff Lee must have been like 2009 or something like that. Was it Roy Halladay? Okay, we got to move. We got 2 minutes left. Dodgers, we have Greinke. I know Greinke won. Was it Kershaw? Did Kershaw win? Kershaw was 2 of them, the 2014 Dodgers and the 2011 Dodgers, both at 21. Diamondbacks, was it Brandon Webb? No, Brandon Webb. Who was the 2011 Diamondbacks with 21 wins? It's not Brandon Webb. It's not Zach Greinke. Was it Johnson? Was Randy Johnson still pitching? No, it wasn't that. Schilling? No, it wasn't Schilling. Dude, what am I doing? Who was on? It's not Brandon Webb. I don't know who it was then. All right. The 2010 or 2012 Angels with 20 wins. Was it C.J. Wilson? I don't know who this could be. C.J. Wilson. No. We have Weaver. What about Weaver? Jared Weaver. Okay. Mets, 20 wins. In 2012, was it Santana? Nope, not Carlos Santana. I'm all over the place with first names right now. Johan Santana, 21 wins for the 2012 Nationals. It has to be Strasburg, right? Steven Strasburg. No? Who is it? Okay, this is crazy. Scherzer? Did Scherzer win? Okay, Scherzer was the 2013 Tigers and the 2016 Nationals. All right, let's go to the 2015 Cubs. Isn't it Jake Arrieta? Okay, Jake Arrieta, 2015 Astros, Keuchel. Did Keuchel win that many? Did I spell it right? Okay, maybe it wasn't him. 2015 Astros. Who was that? 2015, what was his name? Oswalt. Roy Oswalt. Nope, not him. Okay, I thought I was going to get this easy. 2012 Mets, 20 wins. Why am I not being able to remember that? All right, let's go to 2018 Rays. It wasn't Chris Archer. It wasn't Tyler Glasnow. It wasn't Charlie Morton. Who was on the 2018 Rays? I cannot remember. Garza? Was it Garza? Was it Shields? I don't know who it could be then if it's not those guys. 2016 Blue Jays. Was it Ricky Romero? Ricky Romero. I don't know who this could be. What about Aaron Sanchez? I know he had a really good season. Nope, not Aaron Sanchez. I need just one more. Let me get one more. 2012 Mets. Dude, I'm just going to say DeGrom. Nope, he's never won because he hardly gets to play. All right, we're just going to go ahead and give up because I don't get... Ian Kennedy was I did not know that. R.A. Dickey should have gotten that one. Gio Gonzalez, I forgot. Okay. Johnny Cueto. I did type in... Okay, maybe I just misspelt it. And then Blake Snell had 21 wins back in 2018. J.A. Happ had 20 wins. I would have never gotten that. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for today's recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to leave a like. And also, if you're brand new, hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you on the next one.